Hey, it's Patrick, and let's talk about Legends REVO-ARC rear shocks for Harley Davidson. Now, these are going to be for Harley Davidson bagger models, Dynas, FXRs, and Sportsters. And as you can tell, it's some pretty hot rod stuff. You can tell from this big reservoir right here, normally you're getting kind of a premium shock. We'll get to more of that in a moment. Let's talk a little bit more about Legends. Legends has been around for quite some time, the suspension game, specifically kind of focusing on Harleys, and they are made right here in the United States, actually made right in Sturgis, South Dakota. This is their flagship. So if you're a performance bagger guy, you're a stunt guy, you're a wheelie guy or girl, you're going to want something like this because of the features. That big feature up here that everybody sees on a shock and kind of immediately equates to performance, that's because there is a nitrogen bladder in here. What that does is that it helps that fluid in the shock, that when the shock is moving up and down aggressively, so if you're riding aggressively or something like that, and the piston is moving up and down fast in there, it doesn't let the oil that's in the shock aerate, meaning it doesn't let bubbles get in there, because you want that fluid to be nice and solid. As it moves through those deflective discs in there, there's no variation because of an air bubble. Nice 35 millimeter monotube design here with that reservoir. Also has a nice long spring in this. It's actually a longer spring. Even if you get the stock height, you're still going to get a longer spring, which means there's a bigger sweet spot in that spring for this shock to operate at. It's also fully adjustable. You have compression and rebound adjustments here. We got a clicker on the bottom, clicker on the top, 7 clicks a piece to get that thing dialed in just right. Also, when you go to set your preload, you can just twist this thing by hand. You don't need a tool to set your sag and get your preload set up. Another nice thing when you go to install these, spherical bearings. So a lot of times if you have a shock and it's just a steel piece here, when you go to bolt this on, if it's not lined up just perfect, if it's kicked to the side just a little bit like that, the shock will actually be in a little bit of a bind. With these spherical bearings, it lets that turn back. So if that thing's even in there at a little bit of an angle, if you don't space it out just perfect, it's still gonna stroke up and down there really, really nice. Have some options with this. You see, this is a pretty fancy one. This is a gold finish. They have a gold, black, and a clear finish, and these are all clear, these are all anodized aluminum. So you have this gold color, a black color, and a clear, which is just a raw aluminum color. Also available in 13 and 14-inch lengths, and available in different spring rates. So you have a standard one and you have a heavy duty spring. So if you ride aggressively, something like that, you're gonna want the heavier spring, or if you're a 2-up rider or you ride really loaded down, the heavier spring is probably gonna be what you want. As far as pricing, this is top of the food chain stuff, so you're gonna pay a premium price, and it's $1,300 or $1,400 depending on what option of shock you want. The bagger ones are a little bit more expensive. They have the remote style reservoir where you have the little hose going across and it mounts up on top of the fender or down underneath. So those cost a little bit more. Have any more questions, go ahead and click that info tab on your desktop mobile device. It'll take you to the product detail page where you can read other riders' reviews and more specs about these shocks. If you're still looking for more information, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle, and your budget. I am Patrick. Thank you for watching. Now go work on those motorcycles.